Hey guys, this is Ray the Messenger, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about what you should do when you're feeling confused in life. Now let's get right into the video. So the first thing that you have to realize is that everybody in this Western world we live in, they get born and then they go to the kindergarten and then they go to the school. And inside of school everybody has the same subjects. Everybody has math, everybody has the same stuff, and they're always talking about the same irrelevant, boring stuff most of the time. It's just some stuff that hasn't changed for like 100 years. Think about it. Think about it for a second. Everybody is talking about the same stuff for over 100 years, but the world has changed. And now you have this rigid system and this structure that you've been put in, and then it continues. It goes to the college and then out to the workforce, because all of a sudden you have to make decisions in your life, right? When you get out of high school, you have to make decisions. Okay, what do I want to work? Do I want to go to school? But you have no idea about what opportunities are existing in this world. You have no idea what your actual talents are, because schools and systems we live in are not designed to tell you what you are good at or what you should do. It's just like, okay, here you have this stuff. It's like you go to a restaurant, you cannot choose on the menu. Somebody comes over to you and tells you, oh, you need to eat this, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to eat this, but you don't know what is out there, what is existing out there. So your issue, or the main issue that a lot of people have, is they sit there, they've been going through the same path in their life that the society or school has taught them, and now all of a sudden they're just standing there and they're like, this is not the right thing for me. Because if one part of this whole story that you've been told in your life, or this societal change that you have to go through, if you've been like, oh my god, I have to go to university and study this subject because I love it, then all of a sudden you won't be confused, because you know what you actually want to do. If you're like, oh, I want to become a lawyer, perfect. Now you have the perfect road that goes all the way from the school back to the college, and now you're out, you can do whatever the hell you want, but you choose your own path. And the thing is, for most people, they are not one of these paths, because it's like 5 subjects or 10 subjects, but we are humans. There are like so many possibilities right now. Listen, you can do so much stuff. You can go out there, you can have an Instagram account, you can become a videographer, you can do whatever the hell. Now somebody wants to tell you, oh, you have these 5 options. That doesn't even make sense. So the first thing for you that you have to realize is that most things that happened in your past, they are not irrelevant. They're not relevant. You cannot just go out there and be like, okay, I have to choose between math and this other stuff that is out there. If math is not the thing for you, then it is what it is. Then you cannot just go out there and be like, oh, I have to study math. You need to sit down and ask yourself, what are my options? You have to explore the options. You have to go out there and try stuff. This is the main thing. You cannot just sit there, be complaining and sitting around, be like, oh, I'm confused, I'm just going to do the next best thing. No, because that's complacency. You cannot just be, you can just sit there and go to McDonald's, start working a job at McDonald's when you're like, oh, but I don't know what to do, but I'm just going to do something. No, but you have to think, how can I get out? How can I find what I actually want to do? Or what am I actually good at? What are you actually good at? What are your talents, and what is your end goal? This is the most important thing. Most people, they don't have an end goal. That's why you're confused. If you're somebody who's just been there and you're like, oh, I want to become a doctor, boom, you have your goal. That's your end goal. But if you're just sitting there, you're like, oh, but I don't actually want to become a doctor, and I don't actually like any kind of subjects that are taught in school, or different subjects, or stuff that I've seen. I don't want to do the same work my father does, or stuff like that. Then you're just sitting there, you're like, but what should I do now? Because that's the question. You don't know what to do. So you're just sitting there, maybe you start playing video games as an escape. That's what I did back in the day. I didn't know whatever the hell I wanted to do. I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do, I'm just going to do something. It was a random choice. Okay, and then I'm just going to play video games and just get drunk with my friends and do stupid stuff, because I was just confused. And that's the thing that happens. You have to think deeply. You have to sit down and really take your own time. Maybe even get away from everybody for 1 week. Just go to some random remote place, sit there, take a pen and write down what is the thing that you're actually good at. That's the thing you have to realize. You cannot just be like, oh, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I love. No, because most of the time that's not realistic. And also, even with things you love, there will always be aspects of it that you actually will hate. And oftentimes the things that you actually really love, they don't bring you actually money in, so you cannot live from them. You cannot just live from playing video games. Like 99.9% of people cannot sit there and live from playing video games, or drinking energy drinks, or eating fast food. You cannot live off that. That's the thing. You cannot just sit there and make money from that. So you have to think of other options. You have to sit there, write down, what do I want to do? And then the thing you have to do is take action. That's what I did back in the day. I was confused. I didn't know what the hell I wanted, but then I was like, okay, I'm just going to choose some kind of goal that is close to the things that I actually know how to do, and that can actually bring me to a certain kind of goal that I'm just going to randomly create for my own self. Just create some random kind of goal where you're like, I actually want that. What is the thing that you want? You have to have something, right? I mean, listen, let's be honest here. Everybody has something that they want. It's just something. Just put that as your goal and be like, okay, you know what? I want to achieve that goal. Maybe if it's like, okay, I want to travel the world and make money. Okay, great. Now you have a goal. Go out there and then start acting. You need to just set a goal. And the interesting thing is that I've noticed with me back in the day is when you set a goal and you start actually going steps towards it, then you will realize, oh my god, in the end maybe it's actually not the real goal that you wanted, but then all of a sudden you have another goal. And so through that way you can actually get closer and closer to where you really want to go, because it's like course correcting, right? That's what people do when they start to go to a place that they don't know. You go out there and you set your goal. Okay, we want to go over there, and then we see what happens. That's what the people back in the day they did. When they didn't know the area or the territory, they were like, okay, you see that place over there? We're just going to go there, and from there we're just going to see what happens, because it's unexplorable place. It's not, we've never been there. You cannot just say, okay, when I'm there, I'm just going to do this and that, because you don't know the area. You have to go. That's the most important thing. You have to take action. You cannot just sit there and be somebody who's undecisive and doesn't know what the hell he wants to do. Because there's one thing that I've listened to that's really interesting. Think about the following situation. Think about yourself. You're standing in a corridor, and there's multiple doors, right? There's a bunch of doors, and these doors are all your options in life. Now you're just standing there and not going into any kind of these doors. But what happens is, the older you get, the more options will go away. The more of these doors will be not able for you to be opened, if you understand what I mean, right? You cannot just open these doors the older you get, because that's just the reality of time and your own nature. When you're a certain kind of age, you cannot do certain kind of stuff anymore. I'll give you an example, a really classic example. Let's say you're somebody who never played actually basketball, right? And now all of a sudden you want to go, your goal is to go to the NBA. Let's say you're 25 right now and you never actually had any background in playing basketball. Congratulations, you will not make it. That's just the reality of the thing. And so this means this door is closed. And the interesting thing is, like, the younger you are, the more options you have. Because when you're really, really young, you can just pick up anything really easy and you can actually start doing any stuff. That's why the people that have actually great success in kind of certain, especially sports related stuff, they've started early, right? They started early. But starting late is not necessarily a hindrance for you to achieve your goals, unless you actually want to become something that is not realistic inside of the time frame. So like we had the example, right, with the football, and like not with the football, with the basketball, but for football it's actually almost the same unless you have some special talent. So this is like a different kind of discussion. But think about these doors getting actually closed. Now, but think about it. If you go in there and just open one of these doors and just go through the door, you're already in the next way. You're already in the next step. And then from there on, you can actually go forward. If you're standing in the corridor, you can never go anywhere because you're just standing there thinking about which one of these doors should I take. But if you go out there and actually go inside of the door, and maybe you realize, hey, this is actually not the right thing for me, it's not the right door, at least you know it's not the right thing. At least now you have the understanding, this is not for me. But if you never go there, never try it, you can never know, and you're just sitting there standing around, and then before you know it, life has passed you on, and you're just doing some random stuff. You will just become an existence, right? You know these people, like, this is not a dig on these people, but you know these people just running through the streets, you see it in their eyes, they're just existing. They don't even, if you would ask them, hey man, like, honest question, why are you here? What are you doing right now? They would be like, I don't even know why I'm here. If they're honest to themselves, they're just running through the streets doing whatever. Oh, I'm just shopping, I'm just doing whatever. If you ask me, what are you doing? I always have a goal. Listen, I always have a place that I want to go, always a thing that I'm pursuing, because that's what giving me joy. But you don't want to become one of these people who's just like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Okay, maybe that's what you want, but if that's what you want, then maybe I'm the wrong person to listen to, because I want to get you ahead. So sit down, write down the things that you actually want to achieve, pick one of these goals and say to yourself, this one is my goal. Okay, let's say you want to travel the world and make money doing it. Okay, that's the goal. Now you have to ask yourself, how can I get there? What do you need to do? Is there different options? Can you take some sponsorships? Can you do some stuff? What's actually the thing that you're talented at? And then you just go out there and just start doing this thing and start actually pursuing it. If you don't pursue anything, you will never get anywhere and you have nothing. You'll just be confused. Taking action automatically removes confusion, because you know what doesn't work. If I go out there and try 10 things and I know 9 things are stupid and don't make any sense, I have one thing that works. Confusion resolved. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you liked the video, put a like on this video, comment and subscribe to my channel. I hope you liked this. Until the next time, guys, have a nice day. Goodbye.